So every year Vegas releases projected win totals for all the teams in the NFL, and this year it's been no different. Since it's a couple weeks before training camp, I think it's a good time to look at it. In this video, I'm going to break down Vegas' projected win total for Carolina Panthers, which is 9. I'm going to let you know if you should bet that over or under. And we're starting right now. What up, dude? What's up, everybody? It's Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. And welcome back. You guys already know what time it is. This is the channel where I might not tell you what you want to hear, but I'm definitely going to tell you what you need to hear. And on this channel, I give you a recap and analysis of the best division in the NFL, the NFC South. So if you want to see more videos about the Panthers, the Bucks, the Saints, or the Falcons, show some love to your boy. Hit that subscribe button below. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you get a notification every time I drop a video. Like I said, continue to show that love and give this video a thumbs up. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share it with somebody and bless their day. I really appreciate it. 9. 999. 9 is the magic number that the Vegas betting, sportsbook guides, whatever you want to call these guys that make these numbers. That is the magic number they gave the Panthers. It's a pretty solid number. Last year they had 11 wins, so putting them at 9, I'm not sure. With the change of coaching staff, maybe they thought that Carolina might take a step back offensively. Who knows? But I'm going to get into the schedule and break it down and let you guys know, should you bet money on the over 9 wins or below 9 wins. Let's get into it. So, of course, instead of going through all 16 games, there's some gimme wins. Carolina was a playoff team last year. I don't see them taking too much of a step back. They've kind of pretty much established themselves being a pretty much, not a powerhouse, but a solid team in the NFL, making the playoffs for the last 5 years. So there's some automatic wins that I'll go ahead and give them. Those wins are the Bengals, the Redskins, the Bucks twice, the Browns, and of course the Ravens. So those are what? That's 6 wins right there. 6, I can't count today. That's 6 wins right there. So they just need 3 more wins in the remaining 10 games to at least tie the over-under. Week 1, of course, is opening up with America's team, the Cowboys. I think Carolina's going to win that game. They're going to be at home in Charlotte. It's going to be geeked up. Last time they played the Cowboys with Tony Romo, they pretty much solidified the Dak Prescott era by putting him out the game and breaking his collarbone. It was an awesome game on Thanksgiving. I think Carolina gets his win again. Week 2 pins Carolina against the Falcons in the Dirty South down in Atlanta, the 85 South rivalry. Got them splitting the season series with the Atlanta Falcons this season, but this time I think Carolina wins on the road. Cam Newton hasn't had a great track record in his hometown of Atlanta, especially after they laid an egg last year and cost themselves a division. I think they'll bounce back in that new Mercedes-Benz Dome and pick up that W against Atlanta. Week 3 versus the New York Giants. It's the Dave Gettleman Bowl. Dave Gettleman left the Carolina Panthers after he got fired and went up to New York. He pretty much took a bunch of Carolina Panthers. They have Jonathan Stewart up there. They've added Saquon Barkley, but I think New York is going to take a huge step forward this season. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think they're going to take a huge step forward compared to last year. They got Barkley. Odell's going to be healthy. Ingram's going to come into another year of his own. Sterling Shepard. Hopefully Eli will come together. We'll see. They solidified that time up front. It's usually they're pretty much a make or break team on themselves. It has to do with injuries or turnovers that really kills them every year. But I think they'll have a bounce back year. That means I'm taking the Giants to win that game. So that's their first loss for Carolina. Skip ahead to week 7, a rematch versus the Eagles. Last year they played on Thursday night. It was a big time game. Luke Kuechly, that was the dreaded game where he got the concussion. He couldn't finish the game. Carolina still kind of came down to the wire. They had the ball with a chance to take the lead at the end of the game. They just couldn't make it happen. Even though the Eagles are loaded this year, I think the Panthers get it right and they can compete. Their defense is physical, of course. They improved the secondary, and I think Norv Turner makes a difference with these guys. They have a little bit more weapons on the outside. I think they can compete with the Eagles, and they get this W. Rolling ahead to week 10 versus the AFC powerhouse, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, these guys are one of the Super Bowl favorites for the past few years. They got the deadly threesome of Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. Too much for the Carolina to handle. Their defense is great, but I think they have too much versatility on offense, too much speed, too many skill guys that Carolina will be able to keep up. I think their offense will be a little bit inconsistent against Pittsburgh, who has a pretty much a fast defense, but we'll see what happens. But I got the Steelers getting that W and Carolina taking that L. Week 11 at the Detroit Lions, another rematch from last year, back in Detroit again, where they played a pretty close game last year, but I think Carolina's going to come out on top. The NFC North can be competitive, but I don't know. I think they may be down this year. I don't know. I think it'll just be I don't know. I'll see improvement out of the NFC North, but I don't think it's going to be as dominant as before. Of course, Aaron Rodgers will be back, but we don't have to worry about that. The Lions will kind of be struggling all year. Matthew Stafford won't be enough for Carolina's defense. Week 12 versus the dreaded Seahawks. I hate playing these guys as a Carolina fan because it was such a rivalry from the past few years, and they finally beat them in 2015 on the way to the Super Bowl. I haven't really liked them. I'm not a huge fan of the team, but they're coming to Charlotte, and they don't have much. They lost a lot of guys at the Legion of Boom. Chancellor retired. Richard Sherman's gone. Earl Thomas is pretty much the only one left. They had the linebackers still, and they lost some guys up front, but they still got Russell Wilson, even though he lost some weapons. But you're always going to have a chance with this guy. There's always enough time on the clock for this guy, but I got them stealing the win from Carolina. Carolina tends to have some lulls, and they tend to get caught slipping every now and then. I think this is one of those spots. Week 15 at home versus the New Orleans Saints. The first matchup of these guys, two matchups in 3 weeks. I hate how they do this in the division, but Carolina got swept 3-0 last year by the Saints. I think they're going to be mad to have that on their brain still, even though it's late in the year. I have them getting this W against the Saints at home. Week 16, another rivalry game against the Falcons at home. I said they're going to split the series. I said they're going to win on the road earlier in the season. I got them losing this game at home. The familiarity between the two teams will be crazy. They're going to be a little bit bitter about getting beat on the road. Get beat at home, so Atlanta will come back with some fire. I think they're going to be fighting for their playoff lives at this time of the year, and I got them getting the win over Carolina. Week 17 showdown, division showdown versus the New Orleans Saints. This could be for the division crown yet again, like last year. It could come down to the last week. I think it will. However, I have New Orleans winning this second game at home. I got them going to the playoffs. I have the same two teams in the playoffs again this year. The Saints and the Panthers. I have the Panthers in the wild card yet again because they're going to lose to the Saints last game of the season. If you count these games up, those 5 games that I just broke down of his wins and those 6 gimmies, man, it totals up to 11 wins, which would be beautiful. Give or take a game or two. I think that 9 total looks pretty good, though. So you got a little bit of cushion room to take that over all day on Carolina. They made the playoffs for the past 5 years. They have the same core back together. The only weak spot may be that offensive line on the left. But like I said, their schedule, they're facing the NFC East this year and the AFC North, which has some garbage feeding teams at the bottom that they can beat up on and feast on. Not to mention the Bucs are going to be trash again. So I like taking that over. If you want to bet with me, I'm going to be having free picks during the season. You can bet with me with your favorite bookie. I'll give you a link to the bookie down in the description below. You'll get some free betting credit for when it started and get ready for that. And we can make some money together in the fall. But until then, I'm Aaron Duncan signing off for Unnecessary Bluntness Sports Talk. I appreciate you tuning in. I'll see you next time.